Today, we're making homemade tortilla wraps, and if you're not yet convinced about why you should be making them from scratch, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. Hey guys, it's Ashley and welcome, or should I say welcome back, to Meals Make Memories, the food channel where you don't have to be a pro to give it a go. Now, apart from being super simple, here are 3 reasons to never buy store-bought wraps again. Number 1, they are cheaper than store-bought. That's right, you could be saving yourself money. Number 2, they're way healthier. There's so many ingredients that I can't even pronounce on the back of the packets that you buy in store. There's none of that here. And number 3, they are tastier and softer than you can imagine. It's incredible. But if you don't believe me, you're just gonna have to try it out for yourself. And I think I've said everything there is to say. Let's get cooking.
Add 3 cups of plain flour to a bowl, follow with 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of salt. Next, you'll need to measure out the butter. So we're going to use softened, unsalted butter, and we'll need around 70 grams. We're going to chuck that in the bowl, but before you get too excited like I did, it's definitely going to help to break the butter into pieces so that you can give your dry ingredients a little cheeky massage, rubbing the flour and butter together in between your fingers until everything looks like a soft, sandy beach. Now, for the dough to form, we need to gradually add 1 cup of hot water. Why hot water, I hear you ask? Great question. The hot water helps melt the butter and enrich the dough, making your tortillas buttery and super soft. You can use a spoon or a spatula to mix everything together, but if you hate washing up just as much as I do, you can just get your hands dirty and just get stuck in. It's going to be really sticky to start with, but with a thorough kneading for around 5 minutes, your dough will eventually stop sticking. And if not, you can always just add a sprinkle or a touch of flour on top and then continue to knead. I find a lot of elbow grease, and this kneading technique gets the job done really well. Folding in from one side, then grabbing the other side and folding it down over the top and repeating that process until all of the dough is combined. After around 5 minutes, your dough is going to feel really smooth and will stretch really easily. That's the telltale sign that everything is good and you're ready to measure your dough balls. 1 batch of dough makes around 10 tortilla wraps. So for the perfectionists out there, grab the weighing scale, do some quick division of the total weight of the dough by 10, and that's going to tell you how much each dough ball should weigh. However, if you're thinking, that's long, I can't be bothered to do any maths, you can just eyeball it and piece off around 10 golf ball sized balls. I've said balls a lot. Okay, moving on. Line a baking tray with baking parchment and space out your dough balls onto it. You don't want them touching or they'll start to stick together. So spread them apart and then cover with cling film just to let them rest for around 30 minutes. Because if we want beautiful tortillas, they're going to need their beauty sleep. After around 30 minutes, lightly flour your worktop, grab one of the dough balls and wake it up with a few light slaps, pressing it into a flat circle. With a rolling pin, roll from the bottom to the top and then turn 90 degrees and repeat. And you're going to keep doing this until your tortilla circle is big enough to your liking and also thin enough as well. You should be able to kind of see your work surface through the dough. It should be slightly transparent and it will look a little something like this. Then set aside a large pan to heat for a while. You're going to want to use quite a high flame for this because it needs to be searing hot. Once it's hot enough, with my pan, it started to smoke a little bit. That was the telltale sign. Quickly place your dough circle in the center. Now, if the heat is hot enough, you're going to quickly see bubbles starting to rise on the surface of the dough. This is really good. Once they get big enough, after a few seconds, you're going to flip that over onto the other side. Now, warning, hands were burnt in the making of this video, specifically mine, and it hurt a lot. So don't be like me. Please use a spatula and keep your hands safe. You're going to want to cook these for up to 30 seconds on the other side. And then once you think it's done, place it onto a plate and cover with a kitchen towel. And just look at these babies. Perfect in every way and ready to be wrapped up with whatever you want. The possibilities are endless.
Now before you go, check out my sweet chili breakfast wrap for a little bit of inspiration. And while you're here, don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing. Become part of the Meals Make Memories family and enjoy a whole load more of incredible food content. And if you want to make something else, stay tuned for the next video.